Right now, your brain is literally eating itself, not because it's hungry, but because you skipped a night of sleep, and the internal cleaning crew has gone rogue. Meet Elias, a man who believes he's found a superpower in the stillness of 3 a.m. He sits bathed in the clinical blue light of his laptop, convinced that the world is his, while everyone else sleeps. But inside his skull, a silent biological war is being waged that he cannot yet feel. After 24 hours of wakefulness, his brain is desperately trying to compensate by flooding his system with dopamine. He feels wired, a false sense of euphoria that mimics being productive when he is actually just vibrating on adrenaline. While Elias works, his glymphatic system, the brain's essential plumbing service, has been forced to clock out. Usually, this system flushes out metabolic waste like beta amyloid while we dream. Without that rinse cycle, these toxic proteins are beginning to pile up, clogging the delicate highways between his neurons. Imagine a city where the garbage trucks have gone on strike. This is the state of the information traffic inside Elias's head. At this exact moment, Elias's cognitive impairment is equivalent to a blood alcohol content, BAC, of 0.10%. Even though he hasn't touched a drop of liquor, his brain is functioning as if he is legally too drunk to drive. His prefrontal cortex, the CEO of his brain responsible for logic and decision-making, is dimming like a dying light bulb. He thinks he is sharp, but his reaction times have slowed to a crawl, and his judgment is beginning to fray. Elias stands up and walks toward the kitchen, suddenly possessed by an intense craving for sugar and grease. This isn't just a snack attack. His ghrelin, the hormone that signals hunger, is spiking to dangerous levels. Simultaneously, his leptin, the hormone that tells him he's full, has completely cratered. To his sleep-deprived brain, a stale donut now looks like a 5-star meal because his body is screaming for quick energy to stay upright. He notices a slight tremor in his hand as he reaches for a glass of water. His blood pressure is steadily climbing, a physical manifestation of a nervous system that hasn't had a chance to reset. Elias believes he's just a little tired, unaware that his biological foundation is already beginning to crack. He is standing on the edge of a cliff, and the fall into the next 48 hours is about to get much darker. Elias is now entering his 3rd day without rest, and the world is beginning to warp around him. He stares at a simple lamp in the corner, but for a split second, it takes the shape of a person standing perfectly still. The shadow people appear in his peripheral vision, darting away the moment he tries to look at them directly. His brain's ability to process visual information is fracturing, creating illusory transitions where the floor seems to ripple like water. This is the sensory threshold where the line between the physical world and the dream world becomes a blur. Elias begins to experience microsleeps, 5 to 10 second blackouts where his brain simply unplugs. He might be mid-sentence or mid-step when his consciousness vanishes, leaving his body on autopilot. These are involuntary survival attempts by a brain that is literally starving for REM sleep. If he were driving a car, these 5 seconds would be the difference between life and a fatal collision. His amygdala, the emotional fire alarm of the brain, is now 60% more reactive than normal. Elias finds himself laughing hysterically at a mundane joke, only to feel like weeping moments later. He has lost his top-down control, meaning he can no longer regulate his anger, sadness, or fear. Every minor inconvenience feels like a personal attack or a world-ending catastrophe. Inside his bloodstream, his immune system is waving a white flag and retreating. His natural killer cells, the specialized soldiers that hunt down viruses, have plummeted by nearly 70%. His body temperature begins to drop because the hypothalamus can no longer manage his internal thermostat. He feels a deep, chilling cold that no amount of blankets or coffee can seem to fix. Chronic sleep deprivation is not a debt you can just pay back on the weekend. It is a structural renovation of your health. Studies show that just 1 week of short sleep can distort the activity of over 700 of your genes. Genes associated with chronic inflammation, heart disease, and tumor growth are switched on. Meanwhile, the genes responsible for your immune response and DNA repair are switched off. We look at Elias's hippocampus, the brain's save button for new memories and information. Because he isn't sleeping, the inbox of his brain is completely full and frozen. He can read the same page of a book 10 times and still not remember a single word he just processed. Without sleep to press save, his experiences are being washed away as fast as he lives them. His nervous system is stuck in a permanent fight or flight state, pumping out stress hormones around the clock. His blood pressure refuses to take its natural nightly dip, putting immense strain on his arterial walls. This chronic stress leads to a significantly higher risk of stroke and sudden cardiac events. At a cellular level, Elias is aging at double the speed of a well-rested human being. Elias finally collapses, but the damage of his short sleep lifestyle has already set the stage for long-term decay. We treat sleep like a luxury we can afford to cut, but it is the very foundation of our humanity. Without it, you are eventually just a ghost inhabiting a failing biological machine. Your brain is the most complex machine in the known universe, but it's only as good as its last recharge. Put the phone down, close this tab, dim the lights. Your health, your memories, and your sanity depend on the next 8 hours. Go to sleep right now. You can watch the next video tomorrow.